On March 23rd, Bishop David Zubik celebrated the memorial mass for Msgr Jules Roos, a Pittsburgh priest who served the poor in Chimbote, Peru for nearly 50 years.
But we're here today because of the beautiful service that he rendered for nearly 49 years, really being the link, the bridge between Pittsburgh and Chimbote, Peru. And we know that it was his wish that after his death he would be buried next to the people whom he served so lovingly.
Jules accepted really a mandate from baptism to be missionary. All of us share that. And he reminds us, this liturgy, I hope, reminds us, everyone is called to share the good news of Jesus. We can't contain it. It's a treasure that is to be shared. And Jules, in his diocesan priesthood, but especially when he accepted the call to join the St. James Society and to go to Peru, he manifests that inner drive to be missionary, one that was there all the way back to baptism.
It was Monsignor's wish that the work of the mission would continue to thrive and the people of Chimbote would never be forgotten. Even before he became a priest, Father Jules Roos knew that he wanted to serve the missions.
I always admired that idea of the missionary's life, that I guess some part of it was adventure and part of it was this idea of being part of spreading the faith. When I first applied to the bishop for permission, he said no. It was a flat no. There was no explanation why, and that was it. And I went home and forgot about it.
4 years later, the letter came from the St. James Society. He was on his way to Chimbote, Peru, to serve a term of 5 years in the desert. At first, he said his mother was concerned about the distance and his duties, but the entire Roos family quickly embraced the work, and family members have been spearheading the outreach from Pittsburgh for 5 decades. They quickly realized this is where God was calling their beloved Jules. He would not leave the people he came to love.
The longer you're here, the more you become appalled with the fact that people live this way, and the people are so neglected and so forth. And you feel almost obliged to continue on helping them. It made me more aware of what poverty really means. I mean, we thought we were, growing up in the Depression years, we thought we were poor, and by standards, by certain standards, we were poor. We sort of lived in a broad sense, hand to mouth. But we weren't destitute. These people were even go beyond destitution.
In the early years, Padre Julio encountered a visiting prelate in Peru, popular for helping the poor in South America, who was shocked to see how the people lived here.
He came to Chimbote, and he looked around, and he said, "This place is hopeless. There's nothing you can do for it," and walked away. But we ourselves never felt that way. We felt that if we could just help even a few people, that was worthwhile, to know that you were, through God, were instrumental in making someone's life better. It's a reaffirmation of what you're doing.
Msgr Roos recalled the first-year budget was $5,000, and they decided to expand the simple Posta Medica, the 3-room clinic that served the neighborhood. So many young mothers bringing their dying newborn babies to the mission, hoping for a miracle. The miracle came with the construction of the Maternidad de Maria and the Social Work Center, and later a state-of-the-art laboratory. Pittsburgh people responding to the prayers from 4,000 miles away.
I think it's something that the diocese has to really be proud of, what has been accomplished through their collaboration. And as we increase our services, or make them better, it becomes more expensive, of course. And we have to be very careful. We're always looking at the bottom line, our balance, to make sure, we can't spend ourselves out of existence this year. We got to be careful that we can continue long enough that we can find other means, and that's what we're constantly seeking, other ways of financing this.
The Maternidad perhaps crystallizes Padre Julio's vision of what the Chimbote mission is all about. Nearly 100,000 babies have been born in this Pittsburgh-built hospital, recalling Mary's desert journey to give birth to the baby Jesus in humble surroundings. Every boy and every girl, every mother in need, wrapped in loving care.
The greatest satisfaction is in knowing that we have, in some way or another, and when I say we, I'm talking about everybody that works here. I'm not talking about myself or the sisters, or we have bettered these people's lives in a way, because we take a real concern for these babies once they're born also. And these mothers don't feel abandoned. They don't feel like, well, here I am, I just had another child, another responsibility. They know they can come here when they have some real serious problem and so forth. And we know that we've strengthened that family, such as it is, and helped those people to live better. And we've seen the products of this. In many cases, people that were dirt poor have their children in universities and becoming professional people.
Those professional people are out on the front lines, not only working as clinicians, but the all-important trademarks of their home visits. Elizabeth and Zoraida have been going door to door in the slums to bring healing and to bring Christ to families in need. As Msgr. Jules and his fellow Pittsburgh priests cared for babies born with dangerous bilirubin levels, they found themselves performing many impromptu baptisms.
Sometimes, however, the baby's in such a dangerous condition that we decide that we have better give them emergency baptism, because something could happen. We don't like to take chances at it. And we probably have more baptisms here than in the average parish back in Pittsburgh.
Padre Julio says the missionaries battle many everyday challenges.
The very basic things like how to make sure we're going to have the water every day, how to make sure the light is going to be consistently on, and how to keep the dust down. I would say that these are probably our major preoccupations as far as the conditions down here go.
Padre Julio took his multifaceted role seriously and professionally, often as a morale booster for the patients and staff in the hospital here.
My role with the nurses is primarily to encourage them, to motivate them, to keep them upbeat, and also to show them that we appreciate what they're doing, as well as the parents, and trying to always encourage them to want to become better.
As the diocese continues to support the work so vital to Padre Julio, listen to what he told us back in 2000 about the future of this mission.
We're hoping that we're not going to need the next Jules Roos or the next Sister Margaret Mary or the next Sister Lillian. We're hoping that from our own people working here, we can find ones that will replace us. And we have in probably 75%, at least 75% of the day-to-day toil and management is in the hands of Peruvians.
And so that is why the annual mission dinner for Chimbote will continue. It is why ambassadors in our diocesan schools and parishes will continue to pray, raising money and awareness, following the example of Msgr. Jules Roos, following his vision to bring Christ to the people of this desert city, as we remember the life of our beloved Padre Julio.
Remember me in a Bible cracked and faded by the years. Remember me in a sanctuary filled with silent prayer. And age to age and heart to heart, bound by grace and peace. Child of wonder, child of God, I've remembered you.
and it's all said and done, what do you want people to know about Jules Roos and his work here?
As far as I'm concerned, they can forget Jules Roos, but I would like them to see this work as something that must be carried on. And this is what we're trying to do, to build a staff that can carry on this work even after we're not here.
And age to age and heart to heart.